What's going on, Matt? How you been, man?
I've been good.
Hey, move this desk up here, man. I'm gonna have to bend over. At my age, you don't want to bend over too much unless it's for a special occasion. So, good news. If you saw the video we put out with Kenny KO, I did not challenge him to a fight.
Yeah, a lot of people in the comments thought you were.
Yeah, I wasn't challenging him to a fight. I don't want to fight anybody right now. I was like, hey, man, here's a guy who wants to fight you. And he has, if you're looking at Instagram for clout, this guy has just as many followers as you almost. About
realm.
20.
Same
He
realm.
had 35 to 55, somewhere in there, right? And that's Big Boy Cannon. Big Boy Cannon. If you don't follow him on Instagram, guy's a beast, right? He's a good friend of mine. He's a part of Ambrosia. He's one of our guys. And Big Boy Cannon is a big boy. And he's a fighter. And he can fight. And when I saw Kenny's fight, and again, you knock somebody out, like when I had my fight, I looked like absolute shit. It was only 15 weeks after training. The Marc you see fight now, like when I posted my video of me hitting the bag and shit, like that's a different Marc than the Marc that you saw at that fight. I literally had 2 years of training versus 15 weeks.
Yeah.
Complete different ball games. And I went hard, dude. I went 3 to 5 times a week. Kenny... I mean, for his name's Kenny KO, and his dad was supposedly a really good boxer, I believe is where he got his name.
Okay.
So, Kenny, we just got done, by the way, hitting the heavy bag, so we're hungry.
We broke the bracket.
Yeah, we did break the bracket. My wife had to buy a new one. Now we got to hang it. I mean, I'm being real, and I'm not a good fighter at all, so this is not me flexing. And I like Kenny. I mean, I can't be outspoken enough about how much I love Kenny KO. He's one of the few people I watch on social media. I think he's entertaining. I think he's funny. I think he's a good guy. I've met him in person, spent some time with him. One of the guys I respect most in this industry as a person. I really like him as a person. But that was some sloppy ass boxing. It just was. I mean, it was probably better than what I do. Okay. But if you're going to call out Mike Rashid, you gotta bring something, right?
You gotta be a little bit more ready if you're gonna call out someone like Mike Rashid.
Now, I don't think it was fair to Kenny or to Mike to have that fight. If Kenny was to fight Mike,
yeah,
man, that would be ugly. Like, Mike legit beat a professional boxer. And what's up with y'all not wearing headgear? Like, I've sparred probably hundreds of times. I've sparred multiple days a week for 2 years, and I still suck. And I've been in an actual fight. But, bro, what's up with the no headgear thing? Are y'all just trying to be Logan Paul? Like, why is everybody taking off the headgear? Headgear's there for a reason. Put on the fucking headgear.
Well, once you're at the pro level, you can't use headgear anymore. Headgear is only for the amateurs.
In sparring, you do.
In sparring, yeah, for sure. You should be using
headgear. Use headgear. There's a reason it's there. It's to protect your head.
It looks kind of dopey.
I mean, dude, I'm putting on. I'm not fighting without headgear, man. I'm sorry. I'm just not that hardcore. I'm old, man. Like, I'm fucking 40. You know. So yeah, I think this is a great thing, and I really am happy. Really happy that Kenny accepted this. And I'll tell you what, if this fight happens, and if Kenny loses and he still wants to fight somebody, I've already started training. You know what I mean? Like, I need time. Kenny wants to fight someone today. I need a good 6 months of getting back into it. And I just started yesterday, and I'll be hitting shit every single day. Okay, I'm going to be doing something boxing every single day. I'm going to drive up to Music City Boxing once or twice a week. I'm going to get in some rounds. I'm going to get in some all that, right? I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get back into boxing shape. And I can still throw. And I still have my form. I didn't lose it. But to think that I'm going to step into the ring after a year of inactivity, I'm not going to do what I did again. You know, I'm not going to get in the ring unprepared. I want to be able to go multiple rounds. And I want to be able to bring something special. And even though I don't think Kenny is much better than me based on what I saw in that clip that he posted, he posted like 30 seconds, right? And I did that too. If you look at my entire fight on YouTube, it was really fucking bad. But in my highlight film, I look okay. You know, but same with my sparring. Like, I only would post like 30 seconds of it out of a 20-minute sparring session, because the other non-30 seconds, I looked like absolute dookie. That was the best he had.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you're showing your own highlight reel, you get to curate exactly what people are seeing. Mm-hmm. And if that's what Kenny was choosing for people to see, if that's what like the best he has, maybe it was just because
I'm not clowning, but man, he can't fight Mike.
Maybe it was just because the guy fell down from exhaustion after and he called it a KO. But like,
it looked like he was tired more than anything.
Exactly. It looked like he was more tired. But that's what happens when you get a physique guy doing an endurance-based sport.
Well, if you look at
any endurance,
if you look at the Jake Paul fight, I want to talk about that real quick.
Nate Robinson got knocked the fuck out.
Nate Robinson looked like he never stepped foot into a ring to spar or even to like clean it. I've never seen at a pay-per-view level or even I've been to some amateur fights, right? My buddies used to box. I used to go support them, show them love. Even in every amateur fight I've ever been to, I never saw anyone as horrible as Nate Robinson. In fact, that's including the females.
Well, here's the thing. You said at a pay-per-view level, they used to run like celebrity boxing matches back in the day when you had like the guys from Saved by the Bell way past their prime fighting. Yeah, no, it was better, but it was still hysterical. Like it was bad. Like Nate Robinson, you can't really base it on pay-per-view level. He had the name, man. He wasn't a great basketball player, but he was
a slam dunk winner, wasn't he? Like twice,
because he's 5'9", so his jumps made him look like he was flying.
He's only 5'9".
He's only 5'9".
I should fight him. Can I get $1 million? If for $1 million, I'll fight him and suck his dick.
Did you know their downside was only $600?
What?
All right, so Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., they were a mill. Jake Paul and Nate Robinson went into it only guaranteed at max $100 per round.
Wow, what did the winner get, do you know?
I don't know, and that was all based off of pay-per-view sales.
Dude, I would have negotiated better than that. Nate Robinson needs a good Jew in his life.
You know what, though? If you're Nate Robinson and you're Jake Paul going out there and you want to be on a card with Mike Tyson, you're taking that no matter how much money it is. Like, it's like, all right, I'm on the Tyson card.
No, man, I need to get paid. I'm Jewish. Hey, here's the thing. So we got some people are saying, like, I said I'd suck a dick and fight for $1 million. Matt.
You use that suck a dick reference way too much.
Would you suck a dick for $1 million? Oh, man. What about $2 million?
$2 million, I'm sucking a dick.
Really? $2 million?
$2 million, I'm sucking a dick.
Good to know. There's my bucket list. Bro, I mean, Nate Robinson, bro, he was flailing. I mean, he was wild, no composure. And Jake Paul, that dude's a bad man. He can fight.
Jake Paul, he trains to box. This is what he does now.
3 years straight.
He does his YouTube thing, but him and Logan Paul, they are trained boxers now. At first, I think it started as a joke with the whole KSI feud, and it was like some big YouTube money.
I think they actually like it.
They got a lot of interest, and you know what? I think they're sticking with it, and they're going to be good. Will they ever be like, world heavyweight champ? Good? Probably not. But, they'll be respectable. They're certainly respectable.
I think that
no one's going out there and saying, wow, I can't believe Nate Robinson got knocked out by Jake Paul because Jake Paul is horrible. They're saying, holy shit, Nate Robinson got knocked the fuck out by Jake Paul.
So Jake Paul wants to fight Conor McGregor. Could he beat him?
In boxing, I mean, that would actually be a good fight because Conor's a great striker.
Dude, is there a size difference? Because Conor's like a midget.
Oh, there's a massive size difference. Jake Paul's much bigger.
So that's a problem. Like, you're like, hey, you should fight Mayweather. I'm like, that won't happen.
But Conor can fight. I think he's fought at 175. I think Jake Paul could slim down to 175 and make that work, or they do a catch weight 185 and it'd be fine.
You think so?
I think realistically that would make sense. And honestly, the money would be on the table for that fight where Conor might consider it, but he really wants that Pacquiao fight for some stupid reason.
Dude, Pacquiao's still bad, and Pacquiao's like 90 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't fuck with Pacquiao.
I mean, I don't think Jake Paul would do well against Tyson based on what we saw. So,
I mean,
for him to, not Jake Paul. I don't think McGregor would do well against. I don't know.
Man, Tyson looked good, man. That's another thing. You see all these people crying about fucking, it's two old men hugging in the ring. Y'all know that the clench is a part. It's a strategy. It's a technique for boxing where you have to learn to work out of the clench. You literally train for part of your boxing training sessions, how to work the clench, when to clench, and what to do in the clench. If you notice, Tyson, still brilliant in the clench, working the body. Like Tyson was working that clinch. He was working it.
Would you agree Tyson looked better than you thought he would?
I think Tyson looked what I expected. I romanticized about seeing the 1990s Tyson that I used to watch as a kid. Just watch him fucking destroy people's lives, just knock people into another galaxy, man. Like if the aliens landed on Earth and they saw Tyson in his prime, like, dude, Earth go hard.
Earth go hard, bro.
Yeah, I mean I thought Tyson was good, and honestly, Roy Jones looked sharp too. And
Roy Jones hasn't really been out of the game. He's still training people to be boxers. Like, this is still what he does.
The fact that Tyson hasn't done shit but had mental disorders, smoke weed, and hang out for the last fucking 15 years.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about the rules for a second, because they were not well advertised.
Well, I mean, okay, that brings up why they did a draw too, because that answers everything.
So SportsCenter posted the results. It's a draw. People went off saying that Tyson won. Like, they went ballistic. There were no judges.
None.
They had celebrity guest judges
who don't know how to score boxing.
Snoop Dogg was one of them. They probably told the judges, hey, make it a draw. And they weren't allowed to try to knock each other out.
Yeah, so even though I think Tyson did.
I think so, but
yeah, the problem with the whole thing is it wasn't an official match.
Yeah, it was an exhibition.
And the judges weren't really there. They were there, but they weren't there. It didn't matter. It's not sanctioned. And it's literally in the rules. If you read the rules, which I tweeted, this is why I'm not buying it, which I ended up fucking buying it anyway. But
you ended up buying it?
Nah, and maybe I bought it or I found a link. Either way, it was a Jewish version of buying things, man.
Okay. All right.
So I got to say, man, like, it had to be a draw. Because the rules literally stated that we can't have a winner. Are you seeing these junk emails I get?
Pop up, yes.
Something like, I mean, I get the worst porn. So here's the deal. I took the spam filter off.
That's a mistake.
I took the spin. No, because a lot of my people I do business with, like Vitamin Shop, their shit would go to spam because it's from a corporate server and it would get caught by spam. And I'm missing purchase orders. I'm not missing purchase orders.
No.
So I'm like, dude, so I get the worst fucking spam.
But that one was for female bodybuilding porn.
Well,
or it was like, want to fuck a female bodybuilder. Like, well,
who doesn't?
It fit the niche, man.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like a huge clit?
Speaking of which, we got a comment up there for someone saying that they would suck a female bodybuilder's clit for $1 million.
I'd do that if I was single, just to see what it's like.
I'd do it for, I don't know, $20.
20? I would do it for free. I just want to know what it's like. I mean, if I was single, there'd be a bunch of shit popping off, man.
I mean, I want to get like half a tank of gas out of this.
Half a tank of gas. Well, the thing is, like, when you're married and you hang out with single dudes and you're actually like married and you actually like believe in monogamy and shit, like, which a lot of married dudes, maybe not, but like, I live vicariously through my single friends, which I only have Matt. So I'm basically, his life is mine. So I'm like, so tell me more, because you really, I mean, your life's pretty predictable. Like, you have your routine. Like, you've been in long-term relationships, right?
Yeah.
Now, long-term relationships, like, you figure out, like, you've tried other things, but you figure out, like, how you have sex. Like, it becomes pretty programmed because you know what she likes, she knows what you like, and it's not like, well, let me experiment with, I'll do this first, or maybe I'll fucking pinch a nipple here. No. When you're married, it's like, okay, so I have a 96% success rate doing it in this order.
You just go to what works.
It goes to fucking statistics. And when you're single, you don't know what that chick wants. So you're trying a whole bunch of new shit, right? Like, you're like, oh shit, man, what if I smack her? Or what if I talk dirty at this moment? You know where to push. You don't know where your boundaries are. You don't know her sequence. Like, some girls are just like, hey, just go. Some girls are like, no, hold on. But there's a process. I got to relax. You got to massage. We got to do this and oral and all that bullshit we don't want to do. And then it's like, all right, it's just you do. So I told you a story. So I gave my son the talk.
Yeah.
I gave him the talk. and so I told him, like, he didn't know shit. Like, he's 12 years old. He doesn't know anything. And I'm like, this is awesome. I've done my job as a parent. He's not a slut, And my wife took care of Cam. Everything's good, right? We had the talks. And so I go like, I'm past the sex part, right? And I'm like, all right, so let's talk about oral sex. So I explained, girl doing it to a guy, He's like, okay. Like, so sometimes a guy does that to a girl. He goes, why? And I'm like, oh no, you just fucking do. If you think about some of the shit we do, it's like, who came up with that? Like, who's like, what if I ate it? It's like, well, I know I'm supposed to put this in it, but I wonder how it tastes. It's just one guy was like, that one fat guy was like, I wonder how it tastes.
What?
And then he went to the chocolate factory next door.
The thing is, I'm sure it happened so early on in like human evolution.
You think?
Probably.
You think it was Cro-Magnon?
Probably.
You think it was the dinosaurs that God created? Guys, we listen to Lil Dicky's Pillow Talking. If you haven't heard that song.
We've been on that song.
And like the quotes in there are, if you guys haven't heard Lil Dicky's, it's an older song, but I never truly enjoyed the lyrics like I do now. So if you have time to listen.
Anytime you hear us say Earth Go Hard or Side Project. So
basically he's sitting there pillow talking after having sex, a one night stand or first time with a girl. And the shit he talks about is shit I actually talk about. Like, what if there was a God and why would he just create the earth? Why can't there be aliens? Like, what if Earth was like just a side project to this guy, right? But Lil Dicky's just brilliant. The guy's just absolutely
brilliant. It's like
brilliant.
Conversational rap. It's amazing.
But he pulls it off and he's Jewish. Sure. So I'm all for that. I support Jewish hip hop. So
I love the song that he did with Snoop Dogg too.
Oh, that was great. Where he's interviewing.
Yeah.
He's
interviewing to be a rapper.
He went to school and college and lived in a nice neighborhood. And yeah, it's a great thing. But back to Tyson, I don't think anybody who talks shit about that Tyson fight doesn't know boxing.
Yeah.
Or doesn't appreciate the sport and the sweet science. I don't think there's one boxer out there who's like mad and also realize an amateur fight, like what Kenny and Cannon are going to do. Bro, that's 3 2-minute rounds. Dude, at 54 years old and 51 respectively for Jones, those two grandpas went hard for 2-minute rounds, 8 of them. If you've never done or fought, and even if you've ever sparred, sparring's usually 3 minutes, and then amateur fights are 2 minutes, and of course it goes up to 3 for professionals, right? But even Mike's professional fight before he knocked him out in the first round, and Kenny wanted to fight this guy, was
Mike Rashid, not Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Rashid. I would rather get hit by Tyson at this point in my life. And Mike's not that much younger than Tyson. Mike's 43 now.
Yeah,
42 or 43. Mike's a beast. So, yeah, but I mean, to go for fucking 8 rounds at 2 minutes, if you've ever sparred 1 3-minute round, your fucking lungs feel like they're going to crawl through your fucking ears. Like, that hurts so bad.
And if you look at Tyson from 6 months ago, it doesn't look like he stood up for more than
pounds.
2 minutes.
He lost 100 pounds.
That's ridiculous.
That's a god right there. That's a G.
I mean, that's amazing. Their face-off still looked like 2 drunk uncles at Thanksgiving ready to go.
Hey, man, but they brought it, man. That was one of the most exhilarating fights I've ever seen. One of the most exhilarating fights
They were definitely out to entertain.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of entertainment, man, how about Chris Jones coming back on the scene?
Chris Jones dragging you back on the scene.
I had to do it. I had to do it. And so Chris obviously went really hard at this Greg Doucette guy. And I'm not going to be as mean as Matt is. The thing is, like, I don't read the comments, but Matt said people were allegedly like, well, Mark's being pretty diplomatic. That guy's a dick.
Yeah. So I got far more hate comments than you, especially when I'm criticizing his resume, and then you go, "Don't you have a sculpting degree?" Throwing me under the fucking bus.
You do. You should be proud. First of all, I am all for self-love, and you need to be proud of that fucking sculpting degree, bro. I mean,
I'm fine with it.
Why is Katie laughing at that comment?
I don't know.
We have a live studio audience in the bitch. We got Ruckus. Ruckus doesn't seem to care. He's sleeping.
Ruckus is asleep.
And we have Katie over there just laughing at nothing. Nothing, no flinching. But the sculpting degree got a rise out of her, right? So, Chris did another video where he titled it his apology to Greg Doucette.
I clicked on it being like, son of a bitch, here we go. Now we have to do an apology.
Now,
real quick, I learned that wasn't the case.
Nah, I don't think apologies work because then you just look like a bitch. I stand by everything I said. I hope the man makes millions of dollars. Matt called him a douche. I just kind of didn't didn't disagree. And here's the deal. He's making money. And the only reason, and it's like, well, his fans want it. Well, the fans want me to fucking put tassels on my nipples and do the fucking Macarena. But I don't do it because it's in bad taste. Well, I mean, in my opinion, it's probably get a lot of views. That would get a ton of views. So when he does Natty or Not videos, you're literally doing a video accusing individuals.
It's also it's sheer clickbait. Like 100% clickbait. And we got accused like, oh, why are you criticizing him and you're doing the same thing? No shit. We were doing exactly the same thing.
We did the same thing. But not really. I didn't accuse him of being on drugs. I'm on drugs myself.
No, I think he's openly admitted to being on drugs.
Yeah, and I'm good with that. I love drugs. I'm a fan of drugs. I'm a drug advocate.
But I mean, there's a lot of stuff he's done that I'm not okay with.
But so we got this email from this young lady, and I mean, I'm debating. If you guys just let us know in the comments section if you want to see it. Yeah. Matt reads them. I don't. But there's this lady who wrote us like, this dude, like Greg, literally ruined this girl's life. Like she had an eating disorder, or recovering eating disorder, and he literally like just destroyed her and his followers. What a bunch of vile individuals his followers are. Like they went off at her, fucking trolled her, doxed her. Like it was fucked up. And you're getting the same effect you had back in the Blaha and Genova days, where their followers would literally be militant and just go to destroy you.
But that's all he's gonna be, Greg Doucette.
Yes,
He's just gonna be a blip on the map like Genova and Blaha, where they're remembered, but they don't have that lasting power.
The sad thing is, I think that Doucette actually could add. He adds, and he's done some great. I looked at his shit. I'm not gonna lie. He's done some really great diet and training tutorials, really good stuff. He's a smart guy. I am a fan of his good shit. I'm a fan of Greg Doucette. I like his good stuff.
He has the ability.
Yes, but there's no views in that.
To be helpful, and which is what we've learned, which is why we're back in the drama game over here.
Well, I mean, we could have the greatest. The thing is, like, right after that video, I followed up with a squat tutorial, with a leg press tutorial. I'm sorry, with a leg day, whatever the fuck we did. But at the end of the day, man, you're only as strong as your audience is big. Like, and our audience was bigger when we were doing, I do the topic videos and then I do a fucking drama video, and the channel got more attention. It was in YouTube's algorithm. It doesn't matter. You guys got to realize clicking a dislike button doesn't do anything, except it shows YouTube that people are watching it and people are actually like involved. It's active. So whether you click dislike or like, it doesn't matter. So what that does is it puts our other videos.
Which is why if you look on Chris's story, he went back and undisliked all of Greg's videos because he didn't want to help him get more views.
Chris Jones, yeah. I can't wait. So we're going to be at Chris's place tomorrow. You guys can. Tomorrow. Do you guys want to see us live? We can go live.
Yeah, we can go live with it, but we're gonna do a podcast with him as well.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. Yeah. But the bottom line is, I think Greg's a good guy. I just think it needs to be called out. When you do a Natty or Not video, and I am guilty of this as well, and I atone for my sins. When you do a Natty or Not video, you're literally accusing someone of illegal activity, and whether they're doing that or not, and it's really a shitty thing to do. Natty or Not, they're accusing them of being on illegal steroids. They're not accusing them of being on HRT or prescriptions, Flonase. They're accusing him of being on illegal drugs. And that's a whole legal issue. And these people make their money on their likeness, on their reputation. And so what happens is, I have a lot of these. I got so many pages out there. I have one if you Google my name, there's one page out there saying I'm a pedophile. I'm obviously not a fucking pedophile, but it's the fucking internet. So what Greg's doing is he's bringing bad shit to their profile. His YouTube channel ranks so high. What if Callie Muscle, who has a child, Callie Muscle's child Googles Callie Muscle, and he finds one of the first things on page 1, Callie Muscle is a fake natty. Bro, their kids are going to see that. So for me, it's like, Dad, are you taking illegal drugs? And even if he is, like, no fucking, like Chris said, like, having a Callie Muscle is natural or not video, it's not really something we need in 2020. Like, Callie's a big guy. I don't think anyone's accusing him of being natural. Nobody, and he's not saying it. If he does, it's because he's a funny guy. And even if Callie is, look, I'll go to the grave with this. I'm not doubting for 1 second that Mike O'Hearn's natty. Innocent until proven guilty. Does he get work done on his skin and stuff? I don't fucking know. I don't care. All I know is that I want to have that man's babies.
Also, who cares? How does this help you? How does this affect your life, whether or not you know someone is natural or not?
I'm not mad at Greg. I'm mad at what he's doing to people's reputations. And
I feel like then you're mad at Greg because he's the one doing it to people's reputations. But I think he's
a smart guy, and I want to see him succeed. I want to see every one of you motherfuckers succeed. You know, as much shit as Blaha and Genova and those guys brought to me, I want Blaha to pay his bills. I don't want him to suffer. I don't want him to hurt. I want Jason Genova to get the help he needs and do what he needs to do and take care of his mom. I mean, I'm not a dick. I want everybody to succeed. Every one of you motherfuckers.
And I may be a dick, but I also don't want to see any negative. I have no ill will towards them. I just kind of want him to stop doing the shit that's causing the issues. That's hurting other people. I want him to cut that shit out and actually just be informative. Yes, there are no views in it. We got to find some way to like circumvent that being the way people get views on YouTube.
And there's a way to do that, right? Like Kenny KO's done a phenomenal job of not blasting people's characters in this instance. He usually does. But let's think of what he's doing with boxing. He's calling out real boxers. And even though it was sloppy fighting, kind of like mine, he fought somebody. And it takes some balls to get into the ring.
Yeah.
Period. It takes some balls, you know? But I think that's pretty much, let's get into some questions. DHEA, it's there. I've never really used it, never really looked into it. There are DHEA derivatives we sell on Tiger Fitness, like the Blackstone Labs stuff. A lot of people swear by them, and I'd be remiss to offer any advice because I've never tried them because I'm on HRT and I use drugs. I mean, but if you want to try them, a lot of people say they're really good. And even though I do make a profit on selling Blackstone Labs off of my site, I'm going to be real. Like, I don't have that experience. Matt, do you?
No, not at all.
Kenny hits like a transgender, transvestite, hermaphrodite.
You may be an angry person and need to get that checked out.
Kenny's best punch when he hits you with his purse. Hold up, pause. Oh, that was the dick sucking stuff. Screech shanked a dude, did he?
He did. He shanked a guy.
Do you think Jake Paul could beat McGregor?
Yeah, we answered. I don't know. Could Jake Paul? No. Jake Paul cannot beat Conor McGregor.
Here's another Republican on here. Whoever scored Tyson's fight probably counted the votes. I don't think the votes were I think the votes were counted right. They just added in some fucking discs and shit. And it's like there's more voters than there are registered voters. I'm just like, whatever. Give us Biden for 4 years. Guy broke his ankle playing with his fucking dog. Here we go.
Also, no one judged the Tyson fight.
No.
It was celebrities that were told, make it a draw.
Yeah, you're right. It was, you're right.
It was a full setup. Like there was no, they did advertise it, but on lesser known, like unless you're really into fighting, you wouldn't have been able to, like you wouldn't have found that.
Yeah. I'd suck 2 hobo dicks at the same time for $1 million. That's a man after my heart.
That's the same guy that just went angry about transgender, transvestite, hermaphrodite. That's like a quadruple. I don't know.
It's crazy how this is a question. Could a YouTuber beat a pro fighter? Here's the question. Here's the problem, though. Jake Paul is also a pro fighter. Like, the guy's fucking good.
Isn't Mike Rashid also a pro fighter and he's a YouTuber?
I would rather get hit by Conor McGregor than Mike Rashid.
So,
I would honestly, I'm not saying I'd rather fight Conor versus Mike.
Just one
I'd rather
punch.
get
just
hit.
one punch.
One punch, I'm taking it from Conor every day of the week.
That's fair.
I've seen Mike hit.
That's fair.
I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not getting in the ring with that motherfucker. No. Wait a minute. We're getting off track. Where are these dicks at? Cash or prepaid card?
Bro, you need therapy.
I like him a lot. He's
hysterical. What are you doing?
I don't know. Oh, there we go. I clicked the wrong thingy. I grew up watching Tyson. Who's the closest to him? Deontay Wilder? No, Wilder has one punch. Tyson had a whole array of punching. Tyson also had phenomenal footwork. Deontay Wilder's footwork is some of the worst in boxing.
However, if you want to go to MMA, you can say, what's his name? The Beast, the one that his balls is hot.
Fucking Derek.
Yeah, Derek Lewis. Yeah, he's. If you're going like UFC style, maybe him.
Why'd you take your pants off? Because my balls is hot. I understand. I'll dropkick Brock Lesnar in his lumbar for $50. What makes you want to fight Kenny KO? Beef, or you thought it would be a good matchup?
He's not fighting Kenny KO.
No, but I will tell you this. I am getting back into boxing, and if my wife ever lets me fight again, I will, but she won't. She's already looking at me like, fuck you. She's
over there laughing.
Dude, I dropped out of a bodybuilding show. You really think I could fucking fight? Like, I'm a pussy. I'm a fucking middle-aged fucking Jewish CEO. I have no fight left in me. I'm old. I'm washed up. I get it. There's nothing y'all can say that I don't already say about myself. My wife tells me every single day. She's like, you're old. You can't walk right. You know, you got fucking rusty fenders on your bicycle.
However, there's no clout in fighting me, but if I annoy any of you enough, you can challenge me and I'll.
You know what? That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Why don't we do this? So we're looking for an undercard. We're setting up a fight for April or May. We don't know, out in Tennessee versus Kenny KO with Kenny KO and Big Boy Cannon. If any of you guys want to fight Matt,
I'll do it.
I'm going to put this up on Instagram. We got to teach him how to fight. So I'm going to call my boy Julian over at Music City Boxing. And hopefully this doesn't fall under workers' comp. But here's the rules. You have to be under 120 pounds and female. And
it'll take place in my apartment. What?
Wait, hold on. Can I film? Can I hold the camera? Bless would like to see Tyson Wilder. I think Tyson would actually still beat him. All you have to do, Fury figured him out, dude. You just keep, the way Tyson fights, he's not gonna be able to hit that right. Tyson's at you the whole time.
Or Fury would wreck Tyson, right?
How do you go from Jake Paul to this? Welcome to the podcast. On topic videos, we're really good at staying on topic. On podcasts, the whole point is
a mess.
Are you going to apologize to Greg Doucette? No. I didn't say anything I don't believe. I think we're having the talk. Yes, I think we just did. Is alcohol consumption okay as long as you limit it? I don't think any alcohol. I mean, it's your call, but there's no benefits to alcohol consumption. That's all I got to say. Is it bad or good? That's up to you to decide.
There are no health benefits at all.
And there's a lot of health negatives, even in low amounts, in my opinion. Yeah. And it fucks up fat loss. It fucks up muscle gain. It's not the best thing.
Yeah.
Tyson gets erections thinking about hitting people. Marc Lobliner versus Kenny KO as the headliner, and Jerry Ward versus Jason Blaha. Blaha wouldn't show.
Blaha wouldn't show, and Jerry Ward would whoop him.
Jerry's a bad man, you know. I'll tell you this though, I'm not fighting Kenny KO, and if I do, it's not now. I'm never gonna say never to a lot of things, but dude, tomorrow. Let me tell you this, guys. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. we are Central Standard. We are launching something special.
So 2 p.m. EST.
And it's going to be on Instagram Live on my Instagram account at Marc Lobliner. And it's going to send waves throughout the industry. The fitness industry, the bodybuilding industry, the supplement industry.
And this isn't no Kai Green false announcement.
This isn't no bullshit Kai Green shit. This is some real shit. So not that Kai Green's thing isn't a big deal, but I was disappointed because he wasn't competing. This is something that is so timely, so awesome, and such a big deal. And also, we do a much better job at these things than anybody else. So I really, really, really want you guys to join me at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Instagram at Marc Lobliner, and you'll see. I was referring to the snitching part. Yep, everybody is on drugs. Not everybody, but there are people on drugs. I love the YouTube Fitness OGs coming back. I hate all the new overly edited content. And how Instagram, Twitter, we're back, bro. We're back.
Game on.
Game on. We're back. Natty or not is the new order in 66. You're fucking right. These people intermix. They're so fucking angry and they hate you and they think a dislike button's going to ruin your day. Well, let me tell you this. I don't even read my comments. And I don't even.
I do.
Yeah. Well, I do have a subscriber button over there. I have a little clock finder.
Yeah.
I just got the phone with Cannon. I got money on my brother Cannon. Home team, baby. You got it, man. You got it. So, I'd hate to make this. No, I'm not going to even say that. I was going to make a big joke, but I'm not going to. That's not even, well, this podcast won't even have it. Not doing it. Outright bar is great. Agree.
Scrappy.
If they think it's present. Okay, so this is about Natty. No, I don't think it's ever good to put Natty or not in someone's name, because I think it just leads to their Google search being fucked. And if you're a celebrity like Callie who works on TV, that can hurt his income.
However, let's also recognize Greg got big mad at our video.
He did. He put like 2 comments.
He put like 2 comments, like ranting. Also, this came out in his video. He fully admitted he was not an IFBB pro, but he he commented that he's like, I'm not an IFBB pro. I placed fourth.
Well, but did he say he placed fourth in the pro show though? I didn't quite understand it. Was it sarcastic? Though?
I don't know, but regardless, it came off fucking
I think he
dumb.
is an IFBB pro. And look at you being mean again. Greg is the basic bitch of fitness info. It's reading Cosmo, listening to him. Don't eat as much, do cardio, stay away from fat, etc. Basic bitch material. I do a lot of the same. I'm not going to lie. YouTube is a bunch of suppressive cunts.
You watch your mouth, sir.
Wow. But Greg has admitted to being on HRT. Okay.
So have we.
We know he's on. we know he's on drugs, and that's cool.
The thing is, we're not making videos on it because we don't care.
Yeah, Greg is also 5'2" in Olympic lifting shoes, is on steroids. He isn't a great source for info. He's a ball of muscle by default. Well, that's something that has to do with so am I. Blaha is toxic compared to Greg. Yeah, probably.
Blaha didn't give much information. At least Greg does in some of his videos.
Blaha, when he started, was really fucking good. We actually even had an article.
For a while,
we had to take down. We had a great article he wrote on 5x5 on Tiger Fitness. He wrote a few articles for us before he became Blaha.
He got weird.
But, you know, everybody has their tipping point. Look, dude. I used to harbor a lot of resentment for those guys, and now if Blaha gave me a call, like I'll be the first one to break bread with him. And I've talked to him on the phone. I have no, dude. I don't harbor resentment, right? Like if Greg wanted to, like I'd be cool, but I'm just like backing my boy Chris. You know, it is what it is. Blaha is oddly normal now. Just lives in his back room and never talks shit anymore. Yeah, good for him. I don't think people give a crap, really. It's all entertainment. You're absolutely right. That's what YouTube is. And as soon as we get that through our head, we can stop being so mad. Anyone recommend take protein shake before bed? Just make sure you hit your daily protein requirements. That's all. You don't need to time it. Yeah. Mark, when you fight Mike Tyson? I don't think he'll accept my fight. For the right price, I'll fight anybody.
There's no amount of money. I don't think Tyson would take that.
Guys, you do train yourself and do work out to build the physiques that you have. Wouldn't it be unfair if someone claimed they were natty and compared unfair to who? Unfair to who? Like, it's not going to change my direction.
And I wouldn't care.
It's not unfair. Just focus on you. That's not unfair. Like, why is that unfair? You know what's unfair? What's unfair is
to me, that's not unfair. To me, that just shows jealousy. It doesn't show. It shows absolutely nothing about my character or who I am or what I do in the gym, but it shows jealousy like, oh, this person is claiming natty even if they're not, and then they're comparing themselves to me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, no, same. Would you do keto before a fight? I hope you're trolling. I wouldn't do keto without a fight. Jake Paul did very well. You're right. He's a good fighter. Who would win, Mark or Jake Paul? Jake would win. He's taller and he has more experience and he's well trained right now. Now, if you give me a year,
I'd say a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, if you give me like a year or two, I'll say, okay, I'll put up a fight. I'd probably still lose, but I think I'd go at least 4 or 5 rounds deep. Okay. And if it's a 3-round fight, I think it would go to decision. It's hard to knock me out. At least it has been to this point. He might find the key, but I think if you gave me another year to get back into boxing shape and to really hone in and to train with Julian, yeah, I'd be able to put up a fight, but I'd probably still go to decision and lose because he'd land more punches because he's much faster than me. Nowadays, because of his channel, people are more educated and don't believe everyone to be natural, and clearly they're not. Who cares?
Like, who cares? Who's to say that's because of...
And why is that helping people?
Right, and how is that because of his channel? I think that's just general... Like, in general, it's become more well-known that steroids are out there at a much bigger rate. And you can look at, even going back to, what's his name? The fucking 3cc dude.
Oh, Boston Lloyd.
Boston Lloyd, yeah, just like him. Like,
I like Boston.
Because of how long YouTube fitness has been around, it's already well-known. Mark's done videos on it. Boston Lloyd, Rich Piana's.
Yeah, he's not educating people.
He's not educating
And if you can't look at some physiques, like look at Phil Heath and say, he might not be natural, then your fucking problems. And also, a lot of these guys he's claiming aren't natural. They actually are.
Yeah.
They actually are natural. And that's the problem. And I know they're natural. And I know these people. boxing is so fixed. Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Even on the amateur level, I've had friends get fucked.
Which is what we're going to do when someone chooses to fight me. I'm just going to make it go to decision. Then it's going to go my way. I'm kidding. We're not.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep with all the judges. Actually, when we do our fights, we're gonna bring in. It's gonna be exhibition. That way, we don't have to do the paperwork.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring in 3 judges, and they're gonna be judges who know what they're doing. And I'm gonna name who they are, and they better fucking show up, or I'm gonna be very hurt. And one's gonna be Mike Rashid, who knows boxing like the back of his hand.
Cool.
2 is gonna be, but he's from Ambrosia, so we need 2 guys who aren't from Ambrosia.
Yeah.
So then that's one of them. So we'll find the other 2, but we can't have an all Ambrosia fucking judge.
We can't have an Ambrosia.
But I have a feeling Big Boy will knock him out, especially. But they are gonna wear headgear. We got to make this safe, guys. We got to wear headgear. We're gonna wear headgear. Boxing is smart, just asking for brain damage. I don't know. I think taking an unnecessary fall during a soccer match is just as likely. On the Big Five's compound movement's going to put them higher rep for better pump. Yeah. What were you going to say? I'm sorry, I cut you off for the brain damage.
Oh yeah, you were saying soccer. I was saying I played rugby. I'm used to getting hit in the head. We don't wear helmets. It's just as much risk.
Mike Rashid would destroy Jake Paul.
Yes.
Stance on SARMs? Nope, still stands. They're not regulated, and I don't trust them. But, I'll tell you this. If there's one guy I do trust for SARMs, it's got to be Nick Trigili. I just like the guy. And I don't like SARMs, but I have a feeling that he would be, if anybody's to be trusted, it's Nick Trigili. Nick's world class on Instagram. He's a friend. I have bias, and he knows my stance on SARMs. And we talk all the time, and he said some things that have, offended some. Like we don't run in the same circle, but we're friendly. You don't have to always have the same friends as your friends, right?
Yeah.
I haven't changed my stance on SARMs, but I do have more faith in Nick to do the right thing than anybody else doing it right now. I don't know much about Kenny's. I have no idea what he's doing. I think he is. So I haven't talked to him about them, but I have talked to Nick, and I like Nick a lot.
I'd still stay away from him regardless.
I like you and Greg both. He said many times in the video that he did natty or not because people highly request him. Like I said, people request that I run around with nipple tassels.
Someone said they would pay for the booby tassels though.
Shit. It's a question. How about Mike Rashid? I already said that. Most of he says is sarcastic and annoying. It's on purpose to get attention. Rip. Why do natty people hate enhanced athletes? Don't know. Cringe Fest channel must be dying. Is that us? Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Mark, give me advice on how to remain the last natty in a world full of juice heads. You're not. There's not that many people who do steroids, bro. Like you're overestimating. Just because someone looks better than you doesn't mean they're on steroids. It isn't a thing.
Pretty good genetics.
Yeah, you just maybe have shitty genetics, but there's plenty of natties. In fact, you go to any gym, 99% of the people there working just as hard as you as natural. You're only seeing the cream of the crop who have good genetics that you might think are enhanced, but they're not. I don't understand. I don't understand how every natural thinks that they're the only one. Because we get these comments all the time. Trust me, there's plenty of people like you. Just do what you feel is the right thing to do.
Will we see Tyson ever fight Fury or Wilder? Possibly. No, never.
He's 54.
Also, Tyson, he just started Mike Tyson's Legends League or whatever the fighting thing is. That's what this fight was. It was part of his Legends League. So it's pretty much all the headline fights are going to be old-ass fighters fighting other old-ass fighters that people want to see come out of retirement with like a semi-decent undercard or like a wildly entertaining undercard with Jake Paul on it. That's all you're going to see. So Tyson's never going to fight for like an actual heavyweight championship ever again.
Yeah. Just for cardio on a cut, can I walk around my neighborhood? Why not? There's people who look like dog shit, but take triple what Phil Heath does. Confirmed. Speaking of natty, Christian Guzman, all he ever does, is he over his head with everything? Christian is one of the smartest guys in our industry. If not the smartest. Christian is fucking killing it. Like anybody who doesn't respect that man and what he's done is just simply a jealous hater. And I got to say that. Like Christian, what he's done with where he began to where he's at now, building a fucking Disneyland for fitness people, like, fuck, that guy's killing it. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we got to roll. We got to pack for our trip with Chris Jones this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to see this video again on youtube.com/GainzCast. And be sure to subscribe to that. That's our podcast. Also, this will be available on Apple Podcast, on fucking Shopify, on fucking Spotify. on all the podcast platforms, man. And want to boom before you go. I usually don't do this, but boom. I don't do it during the podcast. Peace out, y'all.